Well, my only real relationships have all been long-distance relationships, so I guess you can consider me some sort of expert in this field. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to answer your questions about relationships, more specifically long-distance ones. So I went to the community tab on my channel, which is something I've been using a lot lately, and I requested some questions and some of you came up with some questions. Take a shot for every time I just said questions. But we're responsible in drinking water while I'm filming. What are some little ways you can make your partner feel loved? Not like huge shows of affection, just small things you can do every day. So I like to send my boyfriend little gifts on Facebook Messenger. My most popular ones seem to be the Sailor Venus kiss thing, that one, I can't remember what attack it was, but, it's just really cute. Most recently I did Will You Be My Valentine. It was a little Pikachu holding a little heart, for Valentine's Day, and I thought it was absolutely adorable. And most recently, I've left a Facebook post on his wall that said, "Hey, you're pretty nice looking," or whatever. Not only that, but, just sending some snaps, we send little I love you snaps, and if he's working, just check in every once in a while, just ask him how their day is going, I'm kind of in a long-distance relationship. How can you show them you love them since you can't give them hugs or go on dates? I've been trying to write open win letters, or letters in general, to show my affection or care, I guess. Even though we can text, I would say it's more sentimental. That's why I'm putting in this effort. I actually find that really cute because it's something that I've been considering myself. And I even went to Barnes & Noble and I actually saw what I'm assuming you're using is the actual, product that says open win or whatever. I mean, yeah, those are really cute. I kind of already answered this in the other question, it's just leaving nice little messages. Texts are great. My boyfriend and I, we tend to send more snaps than we do text messages. I think it's because with text messages you can't see their face, but with snaps you can, so it's just, for us, we just kind of like it better that way, although sometimes you want to keep some messages, and which you can't really do on Snapchat unless you screenshot, which I do now, because it's not as creepy now, because we're together. But yeah, I think the letters is really, really nice. I've been considering that myself. I'm glad you brought that up, because when I was getting ready to leave from my trip during Halloween week, he actually bought me a little notebook from the Container Store because I was looking at it, and I am a sucker for notebooks, and it was my favorite color, and he just grabbed it and went off with it, and I was like, you want to do that? But then just recently I was thinking, what if I took this book and I wrote letters in it, because I think that would be something cute to read. And I did make him a memory book for Christmas, but I think this is a little bit different than that, but I think that's a really cute idea. Otherwise, just keep sending, little, maybe cute gifts, maybe cute graphics that you've seen. Just send really nice, reassuring messages. Just something simple, like an I love you is just fine. With online dating sites has being deaf made it hard for you to have a partner? Well, I'm in a relationship right now, so we don't have to worry about that, but I actually did do a video not too long ago about, it's called Will I Be Loved Despite My Disability, something like that, so I would say just go watch that video, and because I don't, just in fear of repeating myself too much, but to try to shorten it as much as possible. In the beginning, when I was first trying online dating, yeah, I thought it was a little bit frightening and that it really wouldn't work out, but I guess at the end of the day, in some ways it did. Although it wasn't really online dating websites, it just so happened that I had met my last boyfriend and this boyfriend over the internet, over YouTube and Twitch. Why do people not like that I never want to get in a relationship? I think because in this day and age, we've been conditioned to think that if you're not graduating high school, and then going to college, and then getting a job, and then going to get married, and then getting kids, that we're failures in life or whatever, or we're not doing what it is expected of us, which is annoying, and I completely understand your frustrations. But, if somebody just tells you, why aren't you going to get in a relationship, or whatever, whether it's somebody that wants to be in a relationship with you, or is just wondering, I don't know, your mom, because moms want to nag about grandchildren, right? Just, I don't want to. End of story. Done. Some people are probably going to try to nag forever about it, but all you can do is just ignore them. How do you cope with a long-distance relationship? I imagine it wouldn't feel as strong as if you were together often. I would say that our relationship is pretty strong. At times, it can feel a little bit lonely, to which my response really is try to set up, like, online dates. So, like, I used to use Rabbit a lot, and you could watch Netflix or Crunchyroll or anything else, or you could just sit there and talk. It was essentially the same thing as FaceTime or Skype, but you got to do a little bit more with it because you could have movie dates, right? Communication is a must. There are some days when, you know, it's just actually saying goodbye part that is hard, and then when you get back into, like, your separate lives, it sucks, it feels lonely, but it's not as horrible, it's not as heart-wrenching as when you're saying goodbye. I mean, I feel like it might be difficult to explain this because I don't want to say that being apart isn't sad, because it is, but, you know, just, if you're in a long-distance relationship, you'll probably get what I'm trying to say here. But yeah, when you're just feeling really lonely, you get a FaceTime date, a Rabbit date, just some sort of online date, it'll help a lot, because if you're not seeing each other, even if it's like in text messages or Snapchat, whatever, there have been times when I've texted my boyfriend getting really upset about the fact that, when there were times that we really couldn't talk as much because he would be really, really busy, or I would be really, really busy, you know, and it just really, really sucked. Communicate your feelings and get it out. It'll help a lot. Another thing that, I've been doing is, because my boyfriend and I really started getting together because of Twitch. He visits my streams often, and we play video games together on there. That's always fun. So, how do you balance your own life and spending time with your partner? Finding your own hobbies, I think, for one, and you don't really have to spend every single day with your partner. Now, for me, because I am in a long-distance relationship, when we're together, I want to be together all the time. I mean, there are sometimes, yes, I may want an hour to myself, but really, for the most part, I want to hold on, and I'm like, no, you're not going anywhere, which doesn't always work, because my boyfriend has a mainstream job, so I can't always keep him to myself. But yeah, get your own hobbies, and you can set your own schedule that way. You can say a Friday night you all can hang out together, or this many nights you hang out together, and then this many nights you do your own thing. I think it's really just all about communication, finding out both of your schedules, and just coming up with a plan together. And this one isn't so much a question as it is a statement, but it's something that I agree with and I kind of want to talk about. I'll say relationship is all about trust, and you have to be honest with one another, and I'll say for me that I'm still learning. And I agree with that. There are definitely some things I've learned in the past year. I've learned to be a lot more open about communication and honest about my feelings, because one of the bad traits about myself is that I am terrible at expressing my feelings. So what ends up happening is I let things build up, which only ends up getting worse. So I end up gaining resentment for my partner, and also resentment for myself, because I'm letting it happen and grow, and it gets toxic. So I've been finally learning to open up about things, and yeah, sometimes it may be a conversation that you don't want to have, and it may kind of go badly for a little bit, but the end, what matters is you get your feelings out there, and you be honest. Relationships aren't puppies and kittens and rainbows and glitter and sparkles 24/7, as great as that would be. So you gotta kind of work through it, you know? But not just being honest about if you have some sort of problem that's going on with a relationship, but also just like, if I'm feeling like if I'm having a really bad depression episode, I used to not ever want to talk about it because of potential backlash, which has occurred in the past. But now I'm, being much more open, or attempting to be much more open. Doesn't always work, but if I'm asking for help, even if the help cannot be given because it might be out of someone's control, it's been a life changer. But yeah, in any relationship, honesty and communication is very, very important. If you don't have that, it's kind of basically a recipe for disaster. Alright, so those are all the questions and comments I received in the community tab. Thank you for your questions. I hope I helped you out with something. Admittedly, I don't know much about relationships where you live in the same spot and you see each other often, but hopefully I helped out with the long distance ones. If you have any other questions, I guess, feel free to leave them down below. I'll try my best to get to you, or maybe somebody else might see a comment and reply. Everybody's welcome to, help each other out with stuff. As always, I very much appreciate you watching, and if you want to consider translating this video into other languages, I'll have a translation link down below, and thank you if you do. Again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!